Yep. It's the kid. 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 It's your boy Double H here for yet another episode of Womb. Not your mother's womb, but womb with an M. The B is not existence or anything. So, so yeah, we are yes for another episode. I don't know what number episode this is, but
5.
Okay. Oh yeah, I think it's 5.
Is it 5?
It might be 4. I'm not sure. But whatever the case may be, it is the episode that is after the last episode. So
I think this will be the best episode.
So we thought, for this one, we decided to go not too much more back in time. And this is a film that I feel deserves a bit more credit than it actually deserves, because it's truly began the term we know as serious comic book film per se. And this, of course, is the film Blade. So I think, just to kick things off, then we can then roll it through. Pandering. You may be shocked. Hey, just come on, walk with me. Pandering. I think, a big issue that I think, pertaining to, when people talk about, diversity, what I hate is when people are like, okay, we need more diversity in there. We just need to make this character black for the sake of making them black. And what I really hate is, why can't we have a black Spider-Man? Why can't we have a black James Bond? I don't want James Bond to be black. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. Peter Parker is a white man. I don't want Peter Parker to stay white, because that is integral to his character. I don't care who the hell Miles Morales is. So, so the beauty about something like a Spawn and pertaining to this thing, to a Blade, is this character 100% has nothing to do with his race. Like, apart from one very throwaway line that, if you have listened carefully, there's only one line that David Goyer put in that hints at racial stuff, but it's such a throwaway line that you probably even miss the line that Frost says. Apart from that, for the whole film, not once is anything hinted at his race, him being black, or whatever. He is merely just a character.
Sorry to interrupt. What line is that? I'm kind of curious.
Don't give me the whole Uncle Tom routine. When they're in the when he's holding on to that Japanese girl in the garden.
In the garden. Yeah. Oh, I don't.
Basically, you'd have to. It's such a throwaway line that it's very easy to miss. So, and even that is like, it's such a throwaway that it's basically, for 99.99% of the film, his race, nothing about race is ever brought up, and I think that is what I just hoped more films did. And I think the beauty about Blade, that's why I wanted just to start there, is he's just the character.
Yeah.
That's what it is. He's just the character. And it is refreshing to see, because again, this is where I link into the whole diversity thing as well, is that only two kinds of people could really give you the essence of Blade. It's like a 2-barreled shotgun. The first barrel is black. The character has to be black, and which is why I talk about the whole thing about diversity. That different races give you different things. Because like as my mom always told me, that no, we are different racially, but all because we are different, it doesn't mean that we have to treat each other badly. But recognize our differences in races, but still love our differences, and let's just come together. We don't need to be racist. So him being black is an important aspect to the character. And the second barrel is Wesley Snipes, who there is nobody on this planet who could play this character better or as good as he played it.
So really, there's just the one barrel, which is Wesley Snipes, who is black.
Oh, no. I mean, you can say it's just that I like that whole 2-barrel thing. But
sure. Okay, let's go with that.
No, but as in, like, I think that's really a. Sorry, the director is Stephen Norrington.
Yes,
Stephen Norrington. Yeah, I mean, obviously, because I'll get him because but let's just even start first with Snipes, who because the thing about Wesley Snipes is what people seem to forget is that, especially in the 90s, see, Snipes for me is similar to a Kurt Russell in the sense of this guy can do drama, he can do comedy, he can do sci-fi, he can do quirkiness. He also can do martial arts as well. So he can do so many different things as a leading man that he is actually a rarity. Because most actors you can see, okay, like their drama is their thing, comedy is their thing, but it's very hard to get a leading man who can do different genres so well. But I'm speaking a bit more on like just the whole Snipes factor.
Yeah, it's weird that we're doing another film where the lead guy is so integral, because Snipes really does give so much to Blade, and you can't imagine like who was the other guy who played Blade in that like TV series?
Right. What's it called? Sticky Fingers, Kirk Jones.
I mean, I can't see anyone else playing Blade. Wesley Snipes and Blade are just, they're the same. You can't separate them because he brings so much. I don't know, like just
no. I mean, because I think the thing about this is like for example, let me put that example. For instance, I would say that just for example, just throw that. Okay, I'll say Sterling K. Brown is technically a better actor than Wesley Snipes. Denzel Washington is a technically better actor than Wesley Snipes. There are so many other black actors that are technically better than him, but they couldn't play the role better than him. Because the Blade thing isn't just about being technically good. He does something very particular about it that even if you got a technically better actor, it won't be as good. You'll be like, wow, that's a great performance. But there's a bit of that magic that is missing that Snipes brings, because it's a very complicated thing that Snipes does, where it's like, as I said, like it's hard to put a finger on it because I can't tell you what he does on a technical acting thing. It's just a feeling he brings, an aura he brings. It's not like I know that there are actors who could technically act better than Snipes, but they couldn't do the performance better than Snipes, which is it's a hard thing to get to wrap your head around.
And not to mention how good he is as a martial arts actor.
Oh, very good.
But yeah, I had a question. Like, do you think that everything Snipes brings is positive to the character? Because there are a lot of like things he does, like choices he makes. I don't know whether it's the director or whether it's him, where he almost seems to not exactly break character, but like for a lot of the film, he's this sort of quiet, brooding, a little bit sarcastic, but just sort of quite intense guy. But there'll be times when he'll like sort of almost break character, like when he's getting shot and he's like, "Motherfucker, you ain't there, man!" And like it seems like out of place a little. And there's like a few instances of that. Like, what do you think of those moments?
For me, I think that I think it's one of those things like, it's one of those things where like you can sort of accept that, oh yeah, that doesn't really normally go with the whole brooding thing. But it somehow still works. Do you know how it works? Do you know why it works? Because you buy it. And because first of all, you buy the whole thing, like again, like I remember like that's screensaver that you had on your laptop where he's sitting on the chair looking out at the window. So you buy those scenes, but you also buy you also buy that a lot because it Snipes. So if you're coming, because remember this was what, in 98, I think. This was Snipes at his height. This is what's called 57, Jungle Fever. This was Snipes at his height when he was really the main guy in the 90s. So
he was in a film called Jungle Fever.
Yeah, what's called Spike Lee, basically about interracial dating.
Oh right.
Yeah. So basically, the Jungle Fever is that whole thing about white people being obsessed with black guys and everything. So they call it Jungle Fever. So what's it? So I think if you're coming into the film, most people that watch this film was because of Snipes. Most guys didn't read the Blade. Like the Blade comic was not really known. Like he's like a BC grade character in the core comics. So more people that were coming to the film were watching it because it was Snipes.
Yeah.
So they were coming in looking at, Always Bread on Black and the Snipes quips, because that's what he was known for in the 90s. So they would accept the Snipes quips, which you would say were breaking character, but they'd also be impressed by, oh, wow, this guy has actually created a character, a voice, and an aura and a feeling about this dude. So you just accept it because you accept the Snipes thing because you're a Snipes fan, and most guys were Snipes fans. Most guys are Snipes fans. I also accept that, the performance that he's doing. So yeah. So let's just look at the film as a whole. For me, I think that basically, what's it called? I would say I love the concept of vampires. Again, one of in a very underrated film, very underrated, is Interview with the Vampire. Really, basically for me, probably one of the best films about vampires.
Yeah.
But the idea of a daywalker is bloody amazing. Like, that's just an amazing concept of like, wow, this is, and again, this just goes to the whole, this had nothing to do with his race. He was just a character. It's not about, okay, this is a black guy doing, basically, the whole thing of Black Panther, Luke Cage, there's black that I despise. Because it's already telling that, yeah, this is the black character. Hey guys, this is your black guy, and he's African, and he's black. This is like, basically, a white character could easily play this and also be cool because the juice of this is, wow, this is a vampire that can walk in the day. And that makes him extremely tough and extremely tough. So I think, so obviously, so speak on the whole daywalker aspect.
Oh, sorry, were you? Yes. Like, the way he's introduced is just I mean, the opening scene is just, it's one of the coolest opening scenes, well, I don't want to say ever, but like, it's a really cool opening scene. Like, the whole setup for it, like the idea of this, like a vampire rave happening in the back of a meat packing facility. It's just, having blood coming out of the fire extinguisher vents. It's all the little touches to just make it feel like, all right, yeah, this is, the vampire society feels very real in this city and believable. And just Blade's introduction, like the way how scared they all are of him, how everything just stops when he shows up, just one guy against a room of like almost 100 people. And they all freeze, and like the music stops, and it's just great setup to build him up as this just terrifying character.
Well, no, and even like, when you see him, and then you hear guys go, "Oh, it's the Daywalkers!" You just hear guys whispering and everything. And the crazy thing is, I remember up to this point, we were terrified of vampires. Vampires were this scary thing of like, oh my gosh, it's a vampire. We had never ever been seen. Oh my gosh. There is something that the vampires fear more. So the whole concept of like, oh my god, these vampires are literally scattering away from something, this element. And in your mind, you think like, what is this thing that they're scared of? And when you just see the way, the key thing is the first time you see a character is crucial. And obviously, because again, look, man, I'm gonna talk about Snipes a lot about all them, but I'm not sure, because there are two claims I'm going to make here, and this is the first claim. I don't think that there is a better introduction to a character than this in any film, and that's my claim. As far as introducing how tough, how impenetrable, and how scared you should be of a protagonist, because normally. It's normally the antagonist that you're like, wow, look at what that guy did. Like the first time that you see the Joker or you see Hannibal Lecter. But I don't think that there's ever been a stronger and more firmer introduction to a protagonist than Blade.
I'd be interested to see someone's like compilation or like some other suggestions.
Well, no,
I can't think of any off the top of my head. But
look for me, guys. Comments below, please feel free to comment below. Like, I've seen a lot of these kinds of films with the superhuman protagonist, and I can't think of a stronger introduction based on, again, you got to give credit to your boy Stephen Norrington for this, because it's based on the build-up. when you first see him, and the vampires disperse, then how he dispatches of them, and how he takes them out. So there's just a perfect balance of, quietness, build up, action, execution, and then boom. And then you're like, whoa, that's an entrance. Because even I remember in school before I watched the film, and guys came back to me in school and said, "My woman, did you see the scene in the toilet in the kitchen?" So guys in school were talking about this scene in the kitchen. Sorry, in the bathroom. When they enter that whole bathroomy kind of area and everything.
Right, yeah, in the shower.
Yeah, in the shower. Because that's somewhere. Because I was okay, wow, man. Because the guys were just talking about how crazy the scene is, and like, see, once you do that, you're like, okay, you have the audience. Because because first of all, you're like, who is this guy? Why the vampires scared of him? All right, I want to know more about this guy.
Yeah.
So you're not really given like a text introduction or something that you're just like, boom, wow, this guy is like, wow. So yeah, I don't think there's a stronger introduction.
I'll get back to you on that.
So so just let's look at the female lead. I'm not sure whether you have the actress's name at hand. If you can do like a fact check for that.
Her name is I don't know actually how to say her name, but I'm going to say Bush Wright.
Okay. Oh yeah. Bush Wright, and then so what's the character name?
Karen Jensen.
Karen Jensen. Okay. So you see, when I first saw this film, this bit scared the living crap out of me. When
when she gets bitten.
When the guy rises from the crispiness.
Yeah.
So guys, remember, spoiler alert.
Rises from the crispiness.
Yes, right. So guys, remember, spoilers. If you've not seen it, I'm sorry.
This happens at the beginning of the film, though.
So. Yeah, so but just that when that happens, that scares the living crap out of me. Like I am totally scared when that happens. So I'm sorry, let me just so that is like whoa, what the hell? But yeah, see now I thought that she was really good. I thought that she was really good because again she was, because really the Blade is the protagonist, but she's basically us.
Sure, yeah.
She's like the audience because she's like, what is happening? I mean, what are these things? Because everything, she's the one that's asking the questions and learning about everything. Because for us, the audience, we're like, okay, who is this guy? How is this guy a vampire that can walk in the day? Why is he a vampire that can walk in the day? Then, and we learn about him through her really, the questions and everything. So, So I mean, just speak briefly on.
Yeah, I think she's given like quite a good amount to do in the. Wait, sorry, hold on. I just need to cough. Sorry. Yeah, she's given a good amount to do in the sense that like she's not a love interest.
Yeah,
she's a doctor, and she is responsible for helping develop a cure or like a serum for Blade.
Yeah, but I mean, she's not a damsel in distress.
Yeah, and so she's she has an important role, and she holds her own. At when it gets to the end, like she has to, like she helps Blade get resuscitated. She has stuff to do, but I just find she's not a very interesting character. Like she doesn't really have a lot going on.
Yeah,
there's a bit of that. She's got a relationship with that guy who ends up becoming like a zombie at the end, but that doesn't really go anywhere. And like she doesn't really have a good dynamic with either Blade or Whistler. Like she's just she's a bit monotone. She's as a character and in just even how she speaks. So it's like, yeah, like on one hand, she's this quite empowered female character that like, again, her being a woman is never mentioned in the same way Blade being black is never mentioned. She's just a competent and intelligent person. but she's just not very interesting. She's just not. She just doesn't have a lot to her character, which is a shame.
No, I think it's like I think it's sort of her character could have been a bit more developed.
There's just nothing interesting. Like she doesn't have anything.
She was just. I think she was much more. I think she was a plot device.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, so I think she was much more like, okay, we can't really just follow Blade through. We need to follow like a human who may have been bitten, and we need to learn about Blade through her. So she's just like a useful plot device to find out much more.
Yeah, so
which is a very useful thing to do in screenwriting, you know.
Yes, it's fine. It's like, and it gives an excuse for like Whistler to give some exposition because he's talking to her, like giving her information about Blade that we don't know. But yeah, she's just a bit bland.
Okay. Harsh, but true, fair. What's it called? Chris Christopherson, man. Whistler.
Give me the goddamn gun.
I don't think. See, I think there are very few people who could play this kind of character. You see, this now goes back to my double barrel thing that I said with Blade, where I feel the Blade character only works if the character is black and Snipes. But I believe in Whistler, this character only works if you're white and a country white.
Okay, but like with your first one, if you're black and if you're Wesley Snipes, but it's just Wesley Snipes because Wesley Snipes is black.
No. But basically, what I'm saying is like you first need to have the blackness. I feel that's that's
primary.
Yeah, that's a primary thing,
right?
And like the icing on the cake is Snipes.
Okay.
That's so. Just with Chris Christopherson, you need to be white, and you need to be southern white, like from the South country kind of thing. Because that's what that character is about. He has that white southern psychology, which is what Chris Christopherson brings to the role. Because it's like it's weird, like you've seen that role so many times before, but I don't think I have.
If you know what I mean. It's quite unique because it's like there's nothing about him that's like, very like yeehaw country. He's just an old guy. Somebody get me a goddamn wheelchair.
Walk away. Walk away, you damn son of a bitch. Walk away.
They have a great dynamic.
Oh, no. You see, like, I think, whereas I think maybe I don't know whether this was conscious or not, whereas Blade and the female lead didn't have that great dynamic, Blade and Whistler had an amazing chemistry.
Well, I mean, that's probably why they brought him back in Blade 2.
Let's guys, we're talking about Blade. Let's not talk about those things. Don't exist to me. But again, I'm thinking about this is that without even saying that much, you already find the relationship interesting. Because how much back and forth conversations do they really have? Not that much. Like they don't really talk. There's not a lot of 1-2 back and forth between them. Most of the time, it's about just business. Okay, what do we need to do?
Mostly Whistler talking to Karen.
Yeah. No, I mean, so really, between him and Whistler, it's more adamant. They never really get personal. The only time that it gets close to personal is obviously, when Whistler is about to get popped off. So that in itself is interesting, very interesting. But I think Whistler was, because again, it's like it could very easily be cheesy, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it's just a good sort of, kind of father-son thing going on. It worked well. What do you think of Stephen Dorff?
That was the one that I wanted to comment on. Now, Stephen Dorff is a very interesting thing.
I've literally never seen him in anything other than this. And Zoolander.
Oh, yes. Okay, see, have you seen True Detective?
No.
So, how many seasons of True Detective have you seen, if any?
I haven't seen any.
Wow, okay, that's mad. Basically, he's in the 3rd season of True Detective.
Right, most recent.
Ali. and pretty much everyone says that him and obviously Mahershala Ali are amazing because the Stephen Duff thing doesn't make any sense. This guy should have had a really good career because he's a bloody good actor. And when you watch True Detective season 3, you just see how good an actor this guy is. And when you look at what he does, what he did for Frost, it's actually a really good performance because on the page, it's a pretty one-dimensional villain.
Yeah.
If you're just to read his lines on the page, it's pretty one-dimensional.
Yeah.
But he gives it so much depth.
Yeah.
And he makes the character so three-dimensional and so interesting that he basically that is what's called that's when a great actor elevates a script, because literally he just made those words count so much more than what they were on the page.
Yeah. And I always found the dynamic kind of interesting, that like he wants to be in the sort of high council of vampires, but the high council are all pure blood vampires, and he was just converted. He was turned. And so that little chip that he has on his shoulder, that he'll never be a true vampire.
A pure blood, yeah.
That was kind of interesting. It's like a nice little. So he's not just a sort of, I want to become powerful. I want to kill all humans. He's just like he's got an edge to him. Like he's got a chip on his shoulder, and it gives him a bit more dimension.
Okay, so let's just get this out of the way now. This film is pretty much, in my view, perfect apart from the can we call it Mr. Blobby or
oh god
or like PS1 graphics? Like I don't know who signed off on that, but whoever signed off on that, you're mad. Because remember, this is 98, before CG had really fully been properly understood.
The CG looked dated like the next week.
Yeah, no. Basically, as soon as you watch it, you're like, yeah, man, that's already dated. So, but for me, I'm like, it's one of those things where like, don't like who saw that and said, all right, let's release that. Because I think like, if you see it, you're like, let's just shoot something differently. Let's just be a bit more creative and just find a much more creative way of just showing this stuff without doing that.
Have you seen what they were gonna do? Like it's on the DVD. Yes, I think it is. But yeah, it's like what they were gonna do with the whole like him becoming La Magra, and that he was gonna become this like tornado of blood. You haven't seen that?
Even worse.
Yeah, and it looks terrible. Like it looks appalling, and it looks worse than what we got. So you can see that they probably saw that and were just like, ugh. Okay, well, we just need to like do something. So they just like hash that together.
Yeah, no.
But it's fine. Like there's only really the bit where he gets cut in half that looks ridiculous.
Yeah, no, but also whenever all those
when the guys blow up.
Yeah.
And then when
wait, what's like some motherfucker just want to ice skate up a hill.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill. Like what? Okay, but like what? Sure, but what? How is that relevant to what's happening right now?
Look, it's David Goyer. Look, man, just
I feel like that was a Snipes thing.
It could have been, but look, whatever the case may be, the line. It's so ridiculous. I still quote it. So yeah, look, it's not but for me, I just look. You didn't have to. Like what I say to people is like, you didn't have to, because every time I watch the film, I'm like, you've made such a serious film, and obviously we'll get a bit to what Stephen Norrington. You've made such a serious. Why did he say?
Well, because there are so many moments where Blade is just kind of like being silly, like in the way he dispatches people.
How silly? As in slapstick?
Well, it doesn't get to like Blade 2, Blade 3 levels, but just like a little bit, just like No. I mean,
but in my view, that even the slightly out of character, slightly sillier, slightly snipesy moments never detract from the overall.
No. It never goes too far.
Yeah, so that's why I said like if you're keeping in with the mood, there should have been a much more low-key way of ending the film. And a more low-key way of, because basically that ending and the way that they ended him and everything didn't coincide with the tone and the mood of the film.
Sure. But the build-up to that final fight is amazing. Like when he's dispatching all the goons.
Oh no. That is why, again, this is claim number 2. Actually, no, let me save claim number 2 towards the end. I want to talk about Norrington and what he did for this film. You see, in my view, people talk about, Dark Knight, X-Men, Logan, all of these things, were like, oh, this is finally superhero films taken seriously. An argument can be made that Batman was really the first one to really give a serious dark take on superhero films. But for me, I think that even with the ending, I think for me, Blade feels like the most filmy superhero film. Where like when you're watching it, it doesn't feel like if you're watching a comic book film.
Yeah.
Because there are elements of the Dark Knight that feel like no, it's a comic book film. Like this is a plot device here. Okay, like the fighting looks silly when he wears his goggles. They looks silly as well. So, but in Blade, for like so much of the film is like no, it's like you're watching a film. It doesn't feel like if you're watching comic film because of how dark it is, how moody it is, the kind of aura and the feel that Stephen Norrington gives. Like what's it called? That chase in the subway, in the train, when he gets ambushed by the guys. I mean, it's like it's just basically it just feels like no, this is like this is what calls being grounded really means. And just the way that Norrington just really plotted it through, I was like, no, this film is just had a just very nice low key thing about it.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of wish there were a few more moments where you get a sense of Blade's like loneliness and his isolation, because you do get it, but just not that much. There's some great moments of him just like sort of sitting on his own and just kind of like reflecting, and like when Whistler's talking about him, it's just, and even just the nature of who he is, like he's supposedly the only person who is the way he is, who is a Nightwalker. So he's not human, he's not vampire, he doesn't belong in either world. So that whole sense of him being just like this severe outsider, I feel could have been maybe touched on a bit more. But it's like it still works well, and you still get the sense of it.
No, I mean, but then the difficulty is, which is why you have to strike a fine balance, because
you don't want it to be too broody and just like
no, because remember, you have to strike the balance between making the broody, lonely thing film and the excitement. So you have to have the action beats.
Yeah.
You have to have the action setups as well, because again, you're basing this off a comic book which is about being larger than life, being exciting, and having a lot of action elements. So because the danger you have is if you just make it really broody, really go into his character, then guys are like, oh man, this is not really what I was buying into, and this is not. Remember, like it's which is the beauty of the film, is that it has all those action elements in there, because it's Blade, it's a vampire, it's a vampire hunter, it's a guy who hunts vampires, so the action thing has to be there, but it gives you something more where it's just not like a brainless action film. And the thing about this is that, which is where it doesn't sort of spoon feed you everything. Those little elements that are like peppered of like, okay, his loneliness, his past, and how he is just enough for you to be like, huh? Because again, that's what you get in a Blade 2. Because a Blade 1 introduces you to like, oh, I want to find out more about why he's so lonely. Find out more about it. It's like, what goes behind him? Then a Blade 2 should then build upon that, because a Blade 2 goes darker, and a Blade 2 investigates his character and his psyche even further. That's not what Blade 1 should be doing. Blade 1 is just it's an introduction. So,
yeah, no, that's fair. And yeah, the film does have a good balance of just like fun and seriousness.
So yeah, my second claim. I believe that there isn't. This is the best as far as the whole package, performance, both acting and physically, execution, action, everything. I believe that there is not a harder hitting, better realized comic book character on film. I put it out there.
Whoa.
And my sneaky thing is the whole package, because again, if you want to just focus purely on acting, then I give that to Christopher Reeve and Superman, and a special mention to what Chris Evans has done with Captain America. But Reeve and Superman, I give that to him, and also a special mention to Keaton in Batman 1. People don't Keaton in Batman 1. Look, that is a special mention. Nobody mess with that one.
John Wick, Keanu Reeves.
No, comic book based off. Like John Wick is original.
Keanu Reeves, John Constantine. Hello.
I'll say no. but then, okay, let's look at them. Let's even say John Wick was based off a comic book character. I would say that.
I mean, I was
action far outweighs the acting. So like John Wick is about it's about the action. So for me, I just feel, if just think about it, as far as it's a whole package, the creation of a character and the martial arts and his and what he does in the action scenes and how he does the action.
A lot of comic book characters don't require martial arts. Like the Joker is not a martial arts
Batman
character. Yeah, okay, Batman, but
like Batman,
I'm deliberately not mentioning Christian Bale for your benefit.
So I mean, like, look, there is like I don't like what Blade just gives you as a whole is. Because remember now, I don't believe that Blade in the comic was known as, because I think that whole martial artist thing, I think, is what Snipes really brought into the role. Like Blade, okay, yeah, he's a vampire hunter, but that thing of like, no, I'm taking this guys out in a very Snipesy way. It's from your boy Snipes. So again,
his particular way of doing his martial arts is a lot of fun to watch. And just kind of ridiculous.
No, it's no for me. I just don't think that there is a, as far as just a character that has the whole package. There isn't a better one I've seen as far as a comic book character on film. There isn't a better one, which is why it is so. Listen, now this is what I take personally. Because again, people always, because again, I think I was having a discussion with someone about, coach, why do you always want this whole diversity thing? Like, why can't you connect with a white character? Why can't you connect with like? For me, I told you one of my favorite characters is Spider-Man. So is what's it called? So is Batman as well. But I remember growing up in Nigeria, and I found out that they were making a Spawn film, and I was interested because I was like, he looks like me. And that was just a natural thing because he looked like me. I was like, oh, wow, okay. Because I was just so used to seeing white characters who, as a guy growing up in Nigeria, there are no white people in Nigeria. So it was very distant. But a guy that, oh my gosh, this guy looks like the guys that go around in my school and everything. So there's just a closer human connection you have to someone that looks like it. Because it's just a human thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I watched the Spawn film, and also interested in Spawn. So when I just see what I felt they did to Snipes in Blade, because Blade could have been one of the most interesting series of films based on just the character that Snipes created. And like what they did to him in Blade 2 and Blade 3, like it's so insulting, it's so offensive, it's so sickening that like that's why it's hard to talk about, because it's like, because it's so rare that you get, first of all, like black actors who get given these kinds of roles. And again, I know, and I think the key narrative I've got to tell people is it's very easy if you're like a white guy who most characters that you see are white. I would say, okay, what if you did the inverse? Let's just say most of the characters comic book characters are black. You may still like them, but if there's that one white character that you see, you will instantly have a closer connection to them than I would.
Yeah,
I know that there are, as much as I love Spider-Man and I love Peter Parker, white guys just have a much closer connection to Peter Parker than I will. Because a lot of white guys who, oh yes, I'm like a Peter Parker because I am that kind of white guy. Because as nerdy as a black guy can be, you just don't have the same kind of nerdiness as a Peter Parker has. Because his nerdiness comes from a white point of view. So when I just look at someone like a Blade, I'm like, oh yeah, I can connect with that because he looks like me, and there's just a stronger, more subconscious connection, emotional connection that you can have to someone that looks like you.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, he got screwed. They screwed him up in Blade 2 and Blade 3. They screwed him up.
I think they just took like some of the silly elements from Blade 1 and just made that the focus of his character. So it's just all quips. He's all one-liners. He's all just like flashy, cheesy, stylish moves.
But my thing is that how do you watch a film like Blade and not be like, oh gosh, let me look deeper into this character now? Like, it's maybe of one of those things that, like, again, I don't know what's happened to Stephen Norrington's career. I don't know how well this did in the box office. But my whole thing is that, look, Guillermo del Toro, quality director, great visualist and everything. But I don't know why Norrington didn't get given the sequel. Because, again, this film was decent. It definitely wasn't a box office bomb. I don't know how they did it in the box office, but it wasn't a bomb. If the first film did well, why didn't you do the sequel? You know? Because I feel that if he had been given the sequel, 1000%, we would have gotten deeper into Blade the character. It would have been darker, and it would have been able to expand more into Blade the guy, because he just understood the balance you needed within the film.
He's actually only directed 4 films.
Wow. So what was the last film that he directed, and when was it?
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, that pretty much ended his career. Yeah. LXG.
LXG in 2003, which I quite enjoyed at the time.
It wasn't that bad. Like,
it wasn't that bad.
I mean, like, it's basically, it's like it was you know what? If you're bored, it's a good watch.
Also, if you're as a kid as well who had absolutely no knowledge of any of the source materials of any of those. Like, I wasn't aware of the Alan Moore comics, nor was I aware of any of the characters from literature that are featured in the film. But like, so I just kind of enjoyed it. I was like, "Ooh, this is silly."
So let's just take it back to Blade.
Yes.
How would you? No. Look. This is Blade Womb. Okay, it's about films, man. We just talk. So what was I going to say? With regards to comic book films, where would you rank this amongst?
It's hard to rank it because sort of Marvel and DC are sort of, they have a style and they have it's sort of, there's a
formula.
There's a sort of formula and a standard for what a superhero film sort of is, and this really doesn't fit it.
Nope.
Like, it's very, very weird to consider this a superhero film nowadays.
Do you know what you've just made a very good point. It's like, I was just this point that sort of we're talking about earlier. Like this era that we're in, like, what's it called? Avengers, Iron Man, Captain America, Batman v Superman, which was trash. These are comic book films. These are, when you look at it, these are comic book movies. Like, every time I put on Blade, it's, for me, it's like, no. It's like if not, I'm watching a film.
Yeah, I'm just watching just a film, just some.
Yeah, it's like
a very.
I never in my mind, like, you know what? Do you know what the thing is? I always forget that this is based off a comic book.
Yeah,
I always just assume that someone just thought of this whole cool idea of a film of a Blade. This cool. Like, I forget that it's a comic book movie. Hence why I just think that it is very separate from other one. So let me throw this into the arena then.
Oh God.
Have you seen Logan?
Yeah.
So okay, I haven't seen Logan because look, I have my own beef because I feel like if Wolverine has to be short,
actually.
Okay, no, he has to be short. So I'm not. I can't.
No, I just had a terrible thought.
What?
I think Hugh Jackman gives in Logan a much better superhero performance than Wesley Snipes.
Now, acting and execution of action.
Yes.
So you're saying both acting and execution of action is better than Blade?
Well, definitely acting.
Oh no.
And
no, like without even viewing it hands down, I already know that hands down.
And execution of action, yeah. If you're talking about like the way he, like his physicality, and obviously he's not going to be doing the same kind of flashy martial arts as Snipes because
he hates Snipes, but come on, man, he hates Snipes, man. He hates Snipes, man. Come on, let's be real. It's not Snipes. He hates Snipes.
I would have to say, actually, I think, even though I really liked Logan, but like Blade has a sort of special place for me. But I do think that Hugh Jackman, his performance as Wolverine in Logan is really, really good. I think it's one of the best.
Sorry, bloody Logan. Piece of... Oh, okay, easy. Okay, so these are the films that I just consider that sort of stand out of the whole comic book movie ethos. So, Logan, Dark Knight, Blade. How would you rank those then? Those three.
Look, I think Logan is a really, really good film. I think I would struggle to like, as much as I like probably prefer Blade, and a lot of that is nostalgia, but I think, and so I would rather watch Blade than Logan, especially as also Logan is just kind of a miserable film. But I do think Logan is a better film.
So you're saying Logan and Blade, Dark Knight, or Logan, Dark Knight, Blade?
I'm saying Logan, Blade, Dark Knight.
Oh, interesting.
Which is, I think a lot of people would have issue with the idea of Blade being put above Dark Knight. And I do think Dark Knight is still a good film, but I think Blade is a lot tighter and a lot more just sort of well-rounded, and there's less sagginess.
Okay, so pretty much again, like, you know what? Maybe this is something that we can do for a later episode. Logan, at some point.
Yeah.
Like, so this is interesting because I never knew. So basically, you feel that Logan is the best film based off a comic book, as far as
off the top of my head, off the top of my head, like, I would have forgotten it if you hadn't mentioned it. Like, I wouldn't have thought of it because I've only seen it the one time in the cinema, and I haven't seen it since. But so I would have to watch it again to like reassess. But based off what I remember of it, I'd say it is one of the best superhero films in terms of just all-around quality. Disregarding like whatever opinions one might have about like whether he's portraying Wolverine as he should be based off just as a film, I think Logan is really, really high quality.
So let's also closing thoughts on Blade then. Final thoughts just around everything.
I mean, it's very 90s.
Is it?
Well, not in a bad way. I mean,
okay, fair.
Talking about like the techno music and the long leather coats, and just like it doesn't feel dated apart from the CG and stuff. But it has definitely got a 90s feel to it, which I like. It's kind of charming. But I think Blade is just I struggle to know how much of what I like about Blade is just because like I'm fond of it as a film from my sort of teenage years that I just really resonated with. And I don't know how much of that is just sort of
nostalgia
affecting my opinion. But I do think it is a solid film. Like I think it's got a lot going on. I think Snipes just gives a really fun, great performance with like a surprising amount of depth. He's a great action star who's been like grossly underused.
Criminally,
because like he's such a good martial artist.
Yeah,
like a screen martial artist.
Yeah. You see, that's key. Like, obviously, there are better martial artists, but being a martial artist in tournaments and everything is very different from being what's it called? Van Damme would get his ass beat on the street, but as far as on screen, he is
and see,
amazing.
Okay, I may retract this statement, but like even Michael Jai White, I think Wesley Snipes is a more entertaining martial. Even though I think Michael Jai White has so much like technical skill.
Oh no! I fully agree. Like Michael Jai White would beat the crap out of Snipes, and Michael Jai White is technically better. But as far as on-screen elements, as far as how you're selling the moves, both acting-wise and character-wise,
he's like Michael Jai White just doesn't have that kind of the intensity and the arrogance
and the acting, and the way to sell the moves with a character.
He's too much of a humble, nice guy, which is like great, but it doesn't like.
Basically, Michael Jai White wouldn't throw someone's throat at someone's head. Put it that way.
Yes, he would not rip out.
Look, Snipes on the day. That wasn't in the script originally.
No, he actually did it.
He actually did it. So, oh wow, okay, well, that's new.
So, and it's such a shame that we haven't seen Snipes do. Like the only other film I can think of where he like does martial arts a bit. Well, I actually haven't seen that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I guess I should. It's Demolition Man. I'm just like, ugh.
Oh yeah, I mean, kid, no. Oh, no. So you haven't seen Art of War?
No, I haven't.
Oh no, you got to see that. You got to see that. Just for Snipes is fighting.
Yeah, because he's so entertaining to watch, and there's some amazing fight scenes in this film, like the opening scene and the sort of end scene.
Actually, a really good one that goes because it's very small. You know when he?
Oh yeah, in the library. With all the scrolls.
No. You see, that one is known. One that people miss. You know when they're trying to find that really fat, overweight.
Yeah.
But when they go to find them, if you look at the moves that he does to dispatch the guys at the bar.
Oh right, yeah.
Before he now goes to find the policeman, like some of the moves I think he does one move where he uses a kick to kick the guy across. I was like, what the hell? It's like because see, as I said, that's from an arrogant guy. Those moves are like an arrogant guy thinks of those moves, So it's always like, no. See, Snipes is, as you said, like so underused because again, like Blade, similar to Riddick, because I think Riddick is one of the craziest characters of all time, very underused. If you had really. This for me would have been one of the best series of all. One of the best series that you've ever seen. If Blade was done properly and he just expanded upon the character and Snipes as a guy, have a bloody amazing. It's a vampire hunter played by Snipes. That's insane. Just think about a guy who has vampire and it's played by Snipes.
Well, what we do have in Blade 1 is pretty good. And it's like it's always fun to go back and watch.
Yeah.
Some of the scenes, like the action scenes, haven't aged.
No way, no. Like it's good, yeah.
So anyway, and great performances from Chris Christopherson and Stephen Dorff as the mentor and villain, respectively. It's just it's a shame the Blade and Frost aren't sort of they don't confront each other more because they have quite a good dynamic.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it's just I feel like the way that they tie them together, like to give them like a personal grievance.
Yeah.
Because really they don't have any. Like even Blade says, like, Frost, you're nothing to me but another dead vampire. Which is that's actually really all Frost is to Blade. Until they then add in the whole thing like, oh, Frost was actually the one who turned Blade's. It's just like, and that doesn't go anywhere. Like, it doesn't. It's just thrown in there to just give Blade some more incentive to hate Frost. So, but whatever.
Eh.
It's a good film. It's a bit corny at times, and it's a bit sort of sometimes a bit flat. But I think it's just got a lot of it's got a bit more depth than you would expect for this kind of film. It's got a bit of magic.
Yeah, for me, I think like I just think I love how low key the film is, you know, and I just like the mood and the aesthetic. The only issue I have with the film, even with the female lead and everything, I think she's fine. Like she's not amazing, but she doesn't detract from the film, and it's fine. No. The only issue I just have is just the ending. Like just that ending with the thing is the only issue I have. I think if that ending was sorted out, this is a very watertight film. And for me, like, it just shows, like, that's the definition of a star in Snipes. It is almost near impossible to find someone like a Snipes, because normally martial artists are either not very good actors or very average actors. And really good actors have to be taught how to do martial arts. And even when they're taught, like they're in the Matrix, they just are not as fluid or as natural. Because again, what's it called? Whether you want to say Van Damme, Michael Jai White, Seagal, they're okay. They're not great actors. They're okay. Snipes is a thing of where he's a pretty damn good actor. And he's a pretty damn good martial artist.
Yeah. And because when you're that good at martial arts, the way he is, like, you can kind of bring a bit of flair.
Yeah,
because when you look at like the Matrix, you can see that it was very heavily choreographed. And they were sticking to their choreography because they had to, because they don't know what they're doing. They're just following instructions. Whereas Snipes can, because he knows what he's doing, he can afford to like be flashy and to like throw in a bit of improvisation.
Which is what makes this character so deadly, because when you're fighting those moves, it's not just about the physicality. It's also acting as well. Like the way he's fighting is based off his character. Because what's it called? Because I remember I was watching when I was watching the DVD, the behind the scenes, he did the interview as Blade. So I was like, wait, what? Because like at the point I was like, wait a minute, is this guy Blade as in the interview? So he was so engrossed in the character that 100% he was fighting as Blade. So it was like, no, this is how Blade would throw a punch, this is how Blade would throw a kick, this is how Blade would do, this is how Blade would receive pain. And that kind of thing just adds to the character, which is why I just say Blade in Blade 1 is such a unique character. And Snipes created something so unique. Because that's why, as a package of the performance and the acting, the martial arts and how he does the martial arts, it's unique. You know, it's such a unique character. So I just think for Blade, yeah, it's just one of those films of where, like, I just think that it's special. I'm gonna watch Logan. I'll you know what?
I need to watch it again.
Putting it off, I'm gonna eventually watch Logan. But let's see. Who knows? Maybe
you haven't seen it.
No, I told you I haven't watched Logan because Hugh Jackman is too tall.
Yeah, and
Wolverine has to be short, and I refuse to watch a film with an 8 foot.
I struggle to watch Logan then because he's in it for the whole film.
Yeah, well, you know, so I know that's the issue. But even despite that, I just think that for Blade, just a really unique film, and I just think that it is such a shame that we didn't see this character grow even more, and we didn't have better films that followed it, man. But still, for what it is, let's forget about what happened. But what is quality film, best introduction to a character, and I just think best all-round character in a based off a comic book character that we've seen in a film as far as the whole package goes. Well, this has been this edition of Womb. I thank you very much, Mr. Basil, the Great Master, the Detective. You have to change his name, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'll work on it.
Well, it's well, guys, and we'll see you again, guys. Comments below on what film you want us to do next. We're happy to view the suggestions, and we will see you next week for another film that will break down on Womb. All right, peace.
Yeah.